Hello everyone! Ang ating 7th episode ng Season 2 ng Usapang... Ay, hindi pala tayo sabay-sabay. Mamaya. So, welcome ko muna lahat dito sa ating first live session for the year. OG Group. Sayang hindi nakasama ang ating bagong mga katropa. But, of course, the OG Group is still present. At we welcome you dun sa ating 7th episode ng
Usapang Training ang iba pa.
Yeah! Sabay-sabay. Sabay-sabay. Okay, so interesting ang topic natin ngayon because we're entering the phase of implementation. At pinag-uusapan natin ngayon, paano bang mamili ng training methodologies? Because as we all know, pag gumagawa tayo ng training design, importante na meron tayong wide range of methodologies, lalo na pag nag implement na. Because if we don't have like different methodologies, then our training tends to become boring, di ba? And ang maganda, well, ngayon, uso na yung remote, uso na rin yung hybrid. So, ang tanong doon, different ba yung methodologies when you're using face-to-face? At different ba pagka-remote training? And how do you know what method to use when you're conducting training, right? And of course, interesting kasi napakagaling ng ating guest speaker ngayon, guest star na, guest star. But before that, of course, our usual Balitang PSTD. Take it away, June.
Yun, thank you.
Hindi ka talaga introduce.
Yan. Madami tayong exciting na balita ngayon. Okay. Una, malapit na ito. April Tipanan. Ang ganda ng topic eh. Building your talent capability. Diba? So pag-apply ng data analytics sa ating talent development. So kita-kita po tayo dyan. At may sponsor tayo sa Medical City. Yan. April 20. Wait, kailan yun? 25. Ayun, nalito. Alright. Daming ganap. Pero bago yun, magkakaroon muna tayo ng training design certification program. So yung pag-uusapan natin ngayon, actually directly connected dito. Prelude yung mangyayari ngayon. So that when you want to scale it up and bring it to a mastery level, mayroon po tayong training design certification program. Yan. April 16, 17, and 18. And then by May 15, yan po yung deadline ng submission ng ating research papers. So last year, inumpisan natin yung first talent development research. So pangalawang taon na po ngayon. That would be on July 25, 2024 within NCR. So pakibook na po yan sa inyong mga calendars. And then there is an ongoing invitation. So may mga nag-enroll na. So whether you are a mentor or mentee, join us. No? So if you have something to share, you have experience. So this is a one way of giving back through mentoring. Yung iba naman, you can also partake of the expertise of others by joining as a mentee. So sama-sama po tayo dyan sa ganyang experience. Alright. So back to you, Pearl. Yan po ang ating balitang PSTD.
Yan. So, kita nyo naman, di ba? Pasensya na kayo kung medyo may mga lag kami because, alam nyo, ang hirap ng live, tapos lahat kami yung gumagawa. So, thank you sa ating professional staff dahil ngayon na-realize namin gano'ng kahirap yung mga ginagawa ninyo for us. Yan. Okay. So, before we introduce our highly esteemed speaker, siguro dapat magpakilala muna sa mga, lalo na sa mga bago dito sa Usapang Training. So, ako po si Pearl Martinez. Ako ay Global L&D Manager ng SGS & Co. So, ayan, pasa-pasa na lang sa
Hello mga katropa, ako po si A.M. Villaluz, currently serving as Vice President for External Affairs ng PSTD, also L&D Manager for Vistaprint Manila.
Thank you, AM.
Magandang gabi po, Edwin Ebreo, President ng PSTD at CEO ng ExecuServe at technician tonight.
All right. Magandang gabi everyone. Jun Roy po, past president ng PSTD. Dating OD Consulting Head ng NRI at ngayon po ay president ng NACS naman. Ako lang po yung nakapoint sa sarili ko. President ng Regenerative Transformation Institute. O, di ba?
Yeah. And of course, yan. So papakilala na natin yung ating guest speaker ngayon. Diba? Guest talaga siya, pero siya rin ay kabahagi ng ating tropa dito sa Usapang Training. At siya yung pag nag-i-introduce, dapat ang tanong, parang, if you do not know me, then why?
Where were you?
Where have you been in the past 10 years or so? Kasi I think in the talent development industry, isa siya sa mga loading ang tawag namin dito ay loading. Kasi talagang, una, hindi naman dahil matanda siya, pero matagal na siya sa industry na to. And of course, dati ko siyang boss, di ba? Talagang, I am proud to say na isa siya sa mga naging mentors ko when it comes to training. Okay, so siya ang CEO ng Learning Just Made Better. And by the name alone, alam niyo na kung sino ito. Of course, the highly esteemed LJMB himself, Louis J. Planta.
Hello!
Otherwise known as...
Alam niyo na po, kapag kami-kami rin ang nag-guest, ibig sabihin wala kaming nakupang guest speaker. So secret lang natin yan sa mga loyal na sumusubaybay sa atin. Basta pag walang guest speaker, walang problema. Kaya nga 5 plus 3 additional hosts dito sa ating mga katropang training. Ang ating topic once again would be choosing the right learning methods. Alam namin ang nakalagay dun sa poster, ang na-announce ay methods for hybrid or remote learning environment. Yes? But the intention is really learning methods regardless of context or application.
Okay, so Louis, may presentation ka ba?
Wala ba kayong tanong? Nakalinya na. Presentation muna.
Meron nang nagbanggit na humingi ng pagkain. We'd like to thank our sponsors na hindi nila alam na sponsor sila. Diba? We have Yellow Cup and what else? Starbucks. Diba? So, salamat sa mga sponsors, pero sana Bakenemen, the next time talagang sponsored na.
Charge din ito sa may birthday ngayon. Reverse na lang natin.
Ready na tayo. Ready na tayo. By the way, we have 24 people in the room. So, minus maybe 2 or 3 accounts from our end, no? Mga 20 people ang kasama natin dito. I-share na natin itong ating inihandang deck para sa kanila. Yes. And of course, there are a lot of learning or training methods. We also want to talk about the distinction between on-the-job training methods, yes, and classroom training methods. So magpo-focus lang po tayo doon sa ating 10% formal classroom training. And of course, how do we choose the best training or learning methods? So unang-una, ano ba yung mga common learning methods? Yes, I'm sure that majority of L&D professionals ay yung mga kasama natin dito, marami kayong ginagamit dito sa pinapakita kong 12 learning methods. No? Parang napapatraining mode ako. Parang gusto ko kayong ipa-chat sa chat room, which of these 12 learning methods do you commonly use? Sige nga, let's give them 30 to 60 seconds, no? Okay? Dinedemo na rin natin yung facilitation ng isang virtual learning class. Basahin nga natin ang nasa chat room. If you will pick your top 3 or top 4 learning methods, favorite learning methods Ano yan? Uy, si Jonathan Ferrer, client ko to sa Redisco and Manila Water. Yan, role play daw at demonstration. Thank you. What about the others? Let's give it a few more seconds for others to type which of these 12 common learning training methods ang favorite nyong gamitin. Sige. Huwag pong mahiya. Choose one or two of your favorite or go-to learning methods. Meron pa ba? At kung wala naman, I'm sure that yun. Case studies din. Oh, si June na mismo experiential. Napaghahalata. Kasi kanina po nagbibiroon kami dito no, sa background yung experiential learning exercises or SLE, structured learning experience. It's really a term from anong dekada pa? 80s. 80s to. Ayan, no? Yung librong classic book ni Pfeiffer and Jones na library natin, structured learning exercises. No? Sabi ni Migs, almost all except case studies. No? Nerissa mentioned workshop, experiential learning, and classroom discussion. Si Hezekiah naman, AVP, audiovisual presentations. Yes? Sige, 12 ito. Without, describing them in depth, lecture, yes, is one of the most favorite and staple learning methods of L&D professionals. This is your vehicle for input giving.
Binago na nga, diba? Lecturette.
May mga interactive lectures pa, di ba? Because, again, meron yung misconception kapag narinig yung lecture, automatic boring. Yes? Agree ba kayo? Okay? I disagree.
I disagree. Pag si Lou,
there is always that myth.
yes.
Pag narinig lecture, 10 to 15 minute, 20-minute lecture, boring yan. Kaya nga, ang point natin dito sa ating episode is lecture is definitely part of your learning design, but lecture should be reinforced and complemented by these learning methods. Once na nagtanong ka na, once you post a question to your class, that already becomes a class discussion where your facilitation is needed. Lecture is really one way. To make it two-way, use class discussions. Kaya magkapatid, magkasunod yung lecture sa class discussion. Nagbigay ka ng theory, nagbigay ka ng framework, nagtanong ka ng 1 or 2 questions, and you elicit answers from the class. And yun na, lumabas ka na doon sa one-way mode of learning. But if you have a big class, or if you have a class where you have learners who are not as extroverted, learners who are not easily, who don't easily share, you may break them down into your small group discussions. O sa virtual or remote hybrid learning, breakout rooms sa Zoom at MS Teams ang tawag natin. Di ba? If you want to maximize the participation of everybody, increase the airtime of the learners, well, small group, 20 people, and the 5 rooms of 4 or 5 rooms of 4 rooms of 5 people. Okay? Of course, yung reading method, huwag natin kalimutan. Okay? In fact, before the lecture, reading, yung blended learning, luma na yung blended learning. Elementary, high school pa lang tayo, meron na yan. Reading first, before attending the professor's lecture, and then we proceed to class discussions. No?
Tawag dyan, basa pa na.
Okay. And then you have your workshops or written exercises using quotation marks, because written, especially in a hybrid or virtual setup, hindi naman na talaga written. Nagbibigay ka na ngayon ng mga links to Google Slides, Google Docs, where there are templates and participants, even when they're in the breakout rooms, they refer to that, they post their answers there as an alternative to having flip charts, no? In a face-to-face session. Nagbibigay ka ng mga guide questions dyan, yes, and then individually, they resolve it, they answer it, or in small groups. Remember, we also use questionnaires and self-assessments. Okay? What's the difference, no? Questionnaires, simple questions that pick their brains on a topic or ask their opinion on a certain issue or problem. Self-assessments are mostly leaning towards psychological tests or personality inventories side. No? Nilamp natin yun sa AVP, Kahit pre-pandemic, paborito natin gumamit ng mga Betamax pa nga noong 1980s. Tapos naging VHS yung 1990s to the turn of the millennium. No? Mahal to dati. Hindi madaling gamitin kasi you really have to purchase them. But because of the internet, we can now access them. We can download videos from sources such as YouTube, or you can just go to the link, i-present mo sa Zoom. Di ba? Napakadali. Demonstrations. Yes, trainer demonstrations. Kaya lang, dalawang klase po yung ating demo of the trainer without skills practice, and the other one is demo with skills practice. No? Option yan, but mamaya papakita natin kung bakit mas maganda yung isa. Okay? Basahin natin yung mga meron bang mga nasaan?
Dami.
Oo, mga dami. Nakikita ko dito, no? Yung mga nababanggit natin, floppy disk, flip chart, DVD. Case study, alam nyo, sa aking research, na I came across a distinction pa nga between case method and case study.
Wow.
Narinig nyo na ba yun? Yung difference between case method and case study. OMG. No? Yung palang case study,
Really a case.
Sorry?
It's a
It's
study.
really a case.
It's a complete case where you are given the problem and the solutions as well. What happened? No? You will analyze what happened before and after. The case method is you're only given the problem. And you and your group mates will have to develop the solution. And perhaps there is no right or wrong solution. As compared to a case study, aha moment ko rin po, na ang ini-evaluate mo is both the problem and the process of coming up with a solution, and then the different solutions. At dahil it's normally based on real life setting or real life case, meron ng insinuation kung ano yung successful or tamang sagot.
But
What worked for
it usually is a test also of your critical thinking.
Yes. At sinabi mo yung critical thinking, Pearl, babalikan natin yung Bloom's taxonomy. Yes. So if your learning objective is to test critical thinking, iba, case study method. Siyempre, paborito natin yung role plays at simulations. Yung role plays, ang training natin ginagamit, customer service training.
Feedback.
Salesmanship training, leadership training, leading meetings,
Negotiation.
coaching, negotiation, conflict. At by discussing this, we're also saying that the choice of method also hinges on the kind of topic or subject matter that we're covering in training. Yes? Anong pinagkaiba ng role play at simulation? Role play at simulation. Mga tanungan, di ba? Sige nga. Pwedeng sagutin sa chat room, what's the difference between role play and simulation? Kapag binigyan mo sila ng customer service scenario, you'll play the role of the customer, you'll play the role of the service provider, yes? And then in front of the class, come on, engage each other. That is obviously role play. The keyword is artificial environment. Artificial. Ano sabi?
HP project.
Ay, grabe. Carousel po yung
slide.
Yung nilalagyan ng
Pinipinito
na
slide kasi gaganyan mo.
Inabot ko.
Ginaganyan mo.
At talagang
Ganun yun, no?
high-tech ka nun kapag meron ka ng carousel.
Oo.
Kaya nga, not everybody, it's not easy to be a learning and development practitioner during those times, especially in the development part of ADI. Kasi resource intensive talaga.
Na-experience mo yung gumagawa pa kayo ng Manila paper.
Pinitupi mo pa. Acetate.
Tapos pagka medyo advanced ka, cartolina.
Correct. No? So, itong napapag-usapan natin ito, magandang nare-release to kasi ito yung mga tools ng trainer. And I also want to differentiate later the words methodology, which we often use.
I remember, Louie, just to butt in.
Sige.
Nagturo kami noon sa mga mangyan. One of my experiences is developing trainers in the Mangyan community. And kasi ano sila marami sa kanila, ang kinuha na namin trainers, yung parang pinaka marunong magbasa.
Mhm.
But most of them, no read talaga. So, ang ginawa namin methodology para magturo sa kanila is a radio play.
Mhm.
Parang mag-radio tayo, kunyari, kasi yun ang naririnig nila every day. Diba? Nakakarinig sila ng radio program. So, gumawa kami ng script. Sige, gawin ninyo, ito yung magka-drama kayo, tapos nasa radio.
Diba? So yung example ni Pearl is already a great illustration of choosing the right learning method to appeal to the right audience. O, nag-training ako, problem-solving, decision-making. Ang target audience, driver at pahinante ng logistics company.
Alam mo, meron tayo ng mga matadero.
Matansero. Tapos ang sabi, some are no read, no write, so your slides, no? O anything visual with text will not matter. So mamimili ka talaga. Okay? Going back, role play, artificial. Yes? Simulation brings the role play to a much closer adaptation of what's happening in reality, but it requires either the use of a software, yes, no, or a specific tool para naman talagang feel natin na closer to reality. We have heard of the flight simulator. I'm sure ginagamit din sa mga aviation, airlines, no? Sa crewing company, sa Manning, sa mga seafarers, mga naging kliyente ko, meron palang ship simulator. Papasok ka sa isang kwarto, and then there are equipment that you see on board the ship, and you operate that, you really feel like you're on the deck of a ship. Alam kong computerized lang yung dagat, pero yung huli ng ibon, naririnig ko. Pag sinet sa weather condition, rainy or wavy, nahihilo din ako. Diba? Hindi natin kayang i-roleplay yun. Okay? I had the chance of doing that kind of assertiveness training for the seafarers, roleplay, artificial. Now, 3 to 4 years later, may simulator, grabe, yung stress, yung pressure talagang feel nila. So whenever you have a chance to develop a simulation, yes, go for it. No? Rather than...
Yung
yes,
user training sa computer.
correct. Basta may ginamit kang platform, may ginamit kang tool.
Sandbox.
Okay. At last, yun yung group dynamics kung tawagin yung 50s at 60s na naging experiential learning exercises. Or now, it's just loosely called as training games. Or training activity. Although, lahat naman ito activity. Lahat kasi ito activity. Kaya para sa atin, magandang gamitin pa rin yung experiential learning exercises where you ask them to go through a certain experience, na gumawa ng puzzle, gumawa ng tower, yes, nag-blindfold, and then you set them, and then you process the experience through a set of carefully designed questions and use your facilitation skills. Usually ginagamit sa team building, tama? At tuwan-tuwa naman ng mga participants dito, kaya recommended gamitin to kasi talagang non-threatening, it engages them, yes, and then later, especially if carefully processed by a facilitator, ang daming mga aha moments and lessons that can be brought back. 12 common learning methods. Any questions po? Meron ba? Meron ba kayong questions? Tutuloy ka na.
Oo, tuloy na.
Meron siya patungkol doon sa next.
Okay, patungkol sa next na. May leadership simulations na rin.
Yeah.
Diba?
Yeah.
Oo, meron mga senaryo. Meron ako na nagamit sa Harvard Business School, change management simulation. Online site, we go to a site, you go through a case, tapos ang task niya ay which of the change management activities will you go for? Ano uunahin mo? You have a 6 months plan. Bawat piliin mo doon, may right or wrong answer, may score. Oh my God. Galing, ano? Kaya nga, papalayo ng palayo sa lecture at class discussion, mas pahirap ng pahirap yung preparation.
So may tanong dito, can we now use AI to create a simulation according to a set of parameters?
I believe so. if you choose the right AI model or platform and use the right prompt, yes, and feed the right information, yes, I do things.
Yes. Sabi niya, what app did you use? Meron kami ngayon, recently, may nag-present sa amin. I just forget the app. Kasi ano pa lang nasa discussion phase pa lang kami. At pinakita sa amin how we can design, as trainers, we can design AI na hindi necessary na hindi pa nga AI the AR na So, nakaka-design ka na, di ba, para magamit nila. At pagka nagtanong sila, di ba, pwede na silang sagutin ng AI.
Alam mo, Pearl, good thing you mentioned AR, augmented reality. If you happen to have bought your VR, virtual reality, which I did in 2020, bumili ako ng virtual reality headset, no? Kasi wala akong magawa during the pandemic. Sa totoo lang, sports, table tennis, boxing, no? VR talaga. So, simulation. Tapos pumasok ako sa isang site doon. I was exploring kasi AR training. May isang site naka-avatar kayo, no? Tapos yung slides po, you can actually plug in them.
Sa amin, hindi na, kasi yun yung mahirap when you use parang AR or VR, di ba? Kailangan mo pa ng tools, di ba? Pero yung nag-present sa amin na I will remember it the next episode sa babanggitin ko sa inyo ang app na yun. You just go into their site, tapos pwede na silang maka-experience without using the tools na meron silang salamin or it's more accessible. So meron nang na-develop na that. Kaya nga, we're thinking of buying into this specifically for onboarding at saka for quality purposes. Parang, kunyari, quality, pwedeng gawin. Ito yung platform mo. Ano yung i-click mo para ganito, ganyan. Pag clinic mo yan, sasabihin sa'yo, no, that's wrong. Nasunog na yung something. So, tinry namin gawin using for fire safety.
But it's very easy, Pearl and team, to really get lost with the tools.
Yes.
Methodology, method, tools, tactics.
Ang dami na nga.
Diba? Yung methodology, I use the term methodology to refer to an approach. These are not 12 methodologies. These are 12 methods, activities. But if you want to use the word methodology, you can say, I want to use a reflective methodology. So, alin dito sa mga methods na to, yung kasi halimbawa, ang topic mo talagang personal mastery. Or if you want it, I want to use a highly interactive methodology. The approach will determine as well the right combination.
Ayun na nga yung next question, Louie, based on our experience now. How do you determine what's the more apt methodology to
Click
use?
natin. Okay? Click natin. Yung susunod natin slide. You're seeing the same 12 methods, but I have a title here. For me, I need that my learning experiences will have to be effective and engaging. This alone will now let us know kung ano yung choice of methods. Effective meets your objectives, engages the learners, yes, which means that the learner will have to do something different. There should be variety of the activities that they do. And it's a plus, hindi pwedeng effective pero hindi engaging.
Yes.
Hindi pwedeng engaging lang pero hindi naman effective. Ito na yung tanong. Number one, the primary consideration is really Bloom's taxonomy of learning objectives. That's why we will connect to, kailan ba natin diniscuss si Zoom? 2 Sundays ago, 3 Sundays ago. Kinimay pa natin yung mga verbs na ginagamit. Di ba? Galit tayo dun sa know, learn, and understand. So kaya po, kung umattend po kayo ng ating episode dati at kung kayo ay nag-aaral ng Bloom's taxonomy, very useful because the choice of the verb will help us identify the choice of method. Also consider profile and characteristics of your learners. Ano bang
no read, no write.
Educational background, skills and competencies, generation. age and generation, no? Ako, kinoconsider ko minsan yung organizational culture, di ba? No? Introverts or extroverts, no? Kaya kasama yun sa ating audience analysis.
So, nung nagpagawa siya ng presentation, marketing namin, ginawan siya through Prezi. Iba yung Prezi. Sabi niya, di ba PowerPoint na? Kasi yung audience ko,
Hilong-hilo siya.
mga matatanda, rotary ito eh. So, baka pagka-present ko yan, magsusukay pa participants ko after.
Again, because your objective is still from the point of view of the trainer,
Yeah.
but from the point of view of the participant, is the method user-friendly?
Yeah.
Is it something na, lalong-lalo na Gen Z, anong nga hinahanap ng mga younger generation na learning? Of course, yung 3 and 4 mo, yung 3 is a practical consideration. Gusto mo nga gumamit ng case study, pero business constraint, you can only train your target group half day. Di ba paiklian na ngayon ng training?
2 hours. Oh, 2
hours.
2 hours.
Simula tayo, June 1990s, no? Di ka nang tama. 5-day training.
1 week on 5 days.
1 week off-site, tapos bigla naging 3 days yan nung mga turn of the millennium. Ngayon, milagro na ang hinihingi nila. Kaya ba lahat yan ng 1 day?
Lalo
Oras. Di ba?
pag managers and executives.
Sa amin, 2 oras.
Kaya nga, kung babalik ako dun sa ating list ng 12, there's a reason why I sequenced them this way. The first 3, 4 methods, 5 methods, 6 methods are very time efficient. Yes, especially may asynchronous learning, video record your lectures, watch them, blended learning. Pero yung demonstration, yung case study, yung role plays, yung simulations at experiential learning, they will really take time.
Yeah.
Okay? So sometimes you want to give the moon and the stars, but you only have a time allocation. Practicality should also be observed. At number 4, i-emphasize natin. Ito kasi, from my point of view to, no? Gusto ko talagang may ginagawa yung learner every 10 to 15 minutes na kakaiba. Lalo na sa panahon ngayon. No? Yung after your 10-minute lecturette, may activity sila, kinesthetic activity, match the definition with the terms. Yes, that's why take care of the combination of methods. May rules of thumb na naman tayo dito eh. What happens first, what goes next? Pagdating ng lecture, anong pwede mong isunod sa lecture? Class discussion. Or lecture, small group discussion, tapos class discussion. Pwedeng reading, tapos lecture, tapos written exercise, tapos class discussion.
Yeah.
Pwedeng lecture, tapos trainer demonstration, tapos skills practice, role play, class discussion.
And the way what you're saying, it also addresses mini discussion here sa chat, no? Pag-bring up no debate nga daw on VARC, which has been debunked several times. We have parang all the learning styles is present na naman sa ating lahat. There's no, like Ed, I think mentioned in the chat, there's no scientific evidence that says if you focus on one, that the person who prefers that style will mas mataas ang retention or engagement. There's really no evidence that shows that ang kailangan talaga is a mix of all the styles so that lahat na a-address. That's why it's really important also to choose the right methodologies. And yun nga yung every 15 minutes you're doing something para na-activate ulit yung learning neurons.
Not using the learning style methodology, but using visual learning experience, auditory learning experience. You have it all, parang SM. Lecture, auditory, tapos reading, depende sa slide mo. Nagpa-role play ka, simulation, kinesthetic experience. Tama? Nagpa-case study ka, reading experience. So, setting aside the learning styles, at least holistic pa rin yung learning experience.
And even if gamitin natin yung expanded version ng VARC, 7 or 8 multiple intelligences, interpersonal doon. So, pinag-reflective moment mo sila, 1 minute to reflect or 2 minutes. So, intrapersonal yun. Pag pinag-usap mo sila, discussion, that covers interpersonal.
Dito rin lalabas. I'm sure, especially for those who've been in the field for quite some time, yung grabe yung design mo kasi talagang na-praise ng stakeholders, na-praise ng learner, nag-translate yung learning sa trabaho. Kasi makikita mo talaga yung combination ng methods.
Yeah.
Yung
May
sabihin,
tanong
tama yung pagkakapili mo. At yung sequence, importante din.
Yes.
Hindi lang yung combination, yung sequence, yung flow ng programa.
May tanong ako, isang consideration kasi, mas lalo kapag skills-based talaga. May expectation, matuto ka as an individual person dun sa skills.
Yes.
So may tinatawag na concept na medyo jargon, individuation,
Mhm.
meaning to what extent the individual is able to practice and demonstrate his skills. Kaya lang makikita mo, minsan karamihan ng mga methodologies or yung mga methods, panay group activities. Tapos ang nagdo-dominate, kung sino yung dominant, yung mga passive learners, hindi nila talaga na-acquire. So siguro isang consideration yan at ang tanong later on, paano mo i-maximize at bibigyan ng opportunity yung bawat isa na ma-practice yun, given na limited lang yung time nila.
Yeah.
Diba? Hindi naman pwedeng isa-isang, diba, presentation skills.
Yeah.
Hindi naman pwedeng group work talaga yun. Diba?
Tama. Kaya babalik tayo dito eh. Tingnan mo,
May
role
tanong
play.
dito si
Role play.
Sir June, paano daw yung existential or natural learners? Lalo na kung ang hirap i-connect sa topic.
Existential or
Natural learners.
Binanatan mo kasi ng individuation.
Ayan. Existential, ang pick up ko kasi doon pag existential or natural, hindi mo siya kailangan ikahunda sa isang
Ano bang
method.
existential? Turo ka sa UFO?
Tama ba?
Ano nga ba yung
Sige nga, baka pwede i-expand.
You can expand your question, Zeke.
Pwede iba-iba interpretation natin ito sa
Just expand and then later on balikan natin.
Natututo ka sa Earth.
Sige, hindi ko babanggit.
Hugging the
Sa akin itong apat na to.
Natural learn.
Yan ang kahit
Okay, yung 8 intelligence nature.
I'm not sure.
Oo.
Mga kailangan
Alright.
sige.
Okay.
Oh, yun. Objectives talaga. Kung ako nga din, 50% objectives.
Yeah.
Diba?
And the other component for profiles and characters is also, let's bank on Marty's previous yung episode natin, Marty, yung the learner personas also oriented.
Pwede rin codes for learning styles. Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh, diba? Dami. So, ganda. Importante, binibigyan namin kayo ng template, profile and characteristics. Gusto mo, DISE, personality type.
Yes.
Pwede rin. Di ba? Dominant, influential. Basta, yan ang kahon, yan ang template. Choose whatever framework you're comfortable.
Yung personality based, lalo na if you're designing training for a classroom, yung halimbawa yung kay Code, yung 4 learning styles ni Code. Pag magtatawag ka ng training, hindi mo naman pwede sabihin, itong class na to for accommodating only. So magdi-design ka for 4, that's the reason why he developed the experiential learning model, because it takes care of all the 4 styles. I think yung VARC should go the same way. Hindi ka naman nagde-design for visual, hindi ka magde-design for auditory. Kailangan yung learning experience is more kinesthetic because it has the visual, auditory, yung mga ganun.
Importante yung pagbalanse, ano? Kasi may mga training, for example, walang reflective moment.
Yes.
Kahit man lang 2 minutes, panay sakto ka agad doon sa group. So yung mga ang learning style nila, it's on reflection. Hindi sila nagkakaroon ng chance to really dwell on that.
Nag-lecture ka, diretso ka role play, wala kang chance for reflection, mali yung in-apply sa role play. Di ba?
Yeah.
So, using the right methods. Pa-excite pa lang pa-excite. Tuloy natin.
Ilang minutes.
Interrupt me kung ito yung susunod na exciting. Papunta pa lang tayo sa exciting part. This is just my crude sample of a session plan or template. module title or module name sa taas. May terminal objective, which we discussed a few episodes back. What the participants will be able to do after, yes, the training. But it has to be supported by your, nung 1990s, process objectives ang tawag. Nung trainer ko pa si Miss Maribel Aglipay, yung 1990s.
Yung mentor M.
Ang tawag namin, mentor M, ang process objectives. Di ba?
Enabling.
Ngayon, enabling objectives. Yung what the participants will do during that 30-minute, 15-minute, 40-minute. Importante talaga yung process objective. Hihimayin mo talaga yung verb dyan kasi doon nakasalata yung method mo. Take a look at the table. Objective beside that is method. Objective mo na bago yung method. Kasi madali na.
Ayun.
Usapang verbs.
Usapang Bloom.
In internet, Google mo, Bloom's kahit anong itsura niyan, from remembering to creating, yes. Basta maayos ang objectives mo, focus on the verb, yan. Diyan. Ito na yung gusto nating ipakita. Table, pampadali ng buhay ng ating mga nasa episode na to. You notice that the 12 methods are on the first column, left. I just left a row there for other methods that you may want to consider. And then Bloom's taxonomy, the 6 levels from remember to pray. Diba? So, depende sa objective mo, sa verb na pinili mo, no? Ano yan?
Dibs for using the updated.
Ay, of course naman, kasi 2001 pa yung updated. No? 1960 yung luma, no? Meron ako slide na yung change.
Before that, how is session plan differ from a design document?
Very well. Sa dami ng kliyenteng na nakita ko, it's the same banana being called different labels. Session plan, design template, design matrix, lesson plan. Kaya banig. Kaya pag technology, pati po ng meron kayo. Pareho lang naman. Objectives, method, duration, time, materials. So, your organization may also have its own
jargon.
Pero, courtesy of Miss Maribel Aglipay, trainer ko noong 1990s, session plan ang tawag namin dyan. Ngayon, may design matrix na. Intimidate ako sa mga terms. I remember yung banig in 2013. Alright, guys, tulungan niyo ako. Be with me. Interactive tayo. Lecture. Saan? Saang level ni Bloom ang lecture and understand? Please type your answer in the chat room. Go, wag mahiya. Please type, alright. Sabi ni John, okay.
Remember,
perfect. Because sumasagot na kayo. Check. What about class discussion? Isa naman po, ang CB class discussion. Isa natin pwedeng ilagay yan. Class discussion, understand and remember pa rin ba? Understand and remember, alright. Okay? Kaya sa mga trainers na napapasarap sa lecture, tapos sa class discussion lang, hanggang dyan lang. Huwag kayong magtaka kung ba't hindi ma-apply, walang transfer of learning back to the work. Small group discussion, ganun din. Oh, by the way, yung class discussion, pwede rin gamitin sa analysis, saka sa evaluation, depending on the questions that you use. Yes. Ang tweak ko lang or ang tactic ko for remote, hybrid, or virtual learning, ang napansin kong pagkakaiba, pag face-to-face learning, walang problema. Kung capture nila yung question, you know? Your slides really have to contain the questions. Yes. Or you can even send the questions beforehand so that they can think about it, they can prepare their questions. Isa pang na-experience ko dito, maliit na bagay ito, pero it frequently happens. Di ba nagbigay ka ng question kasi sinend mo sa breakout room? Yes. Pagdating sa breakout room, sasabihin nila, ano nga po pala yung question? Frustrating. So what I do now is before I send them to the breakout room, there is a slide with the instruction, take a screenshot of the guide questions. No? And then meron ka pang Google Docs link or Google Slides link so that they can really, or Jamboard or Miro or whatever that is.
The same slide even when they're in the break.
Tingnan mo yan. Technology is really...
You can just leave it.
Small group discussion, ganun din. Okay? Reading and written writing exercises. Now you're seeing, ano pala si mentor, mentor.
Kanina pa na napapag.
Alright, ayan na po. Our attempt to show you an overview of matching your training objectives based on Bloom's 6 levels with your learning methods. And I'm sure that you may have a learning method. Pwede pa rin ba yan dito? Ito po ay guide lang. Okay? So please, no? Use it. Yung others, baka meron kayong mga ibang learning methods.
Oo, baka mayroon.
Ganun lang ang thinking process. Remember to.
Ayan, lumabas yung tanong. What are the meaning of SLEs?
Sorry na.
Yeah.
Sorry na
Sir
po.
na, sir na.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, si Zik to eh.
Hindi, si
Di ba?
Oh,
Si Zik to eh.
si Kevin.
Si Zik and
Kevin.
Kevin.
Sa ating mga Gen
Oh,
Z.
Zik and Kevin, kayo ba yung nakapaglaro na ng trust walk? Yung mga naka-blindfold, tapos kayo leader, no? Have you ever been in a team building program where you were asked to create towers with or have you ever been in an
Egg drop.
you're asked to create a puzzle, no? And there's a problem with the puzzle, etc. And then you were asked to collaborate. So, simply put, training games, but more than games, it's injustice to just call them games. The vehicle is the game, the experience. Then after the experience, when you process the lessons using facilitation skills and carefully designed questions, nangyayari pala sa totoo workplace siya.
Or even yung mga short
Another term
activities.
that's game-based learning.
Game-based
We
learning.
differentiate with gamification of learning.
Dati, group dynamics, di ba group dy? Tapos naging SLE, ELE. Ngayon, game-based learning.
At may mga short at long version. Di ba? Short like, madalas ito eh, pag change management or change. O, sige nga, yung ganito, arms folding with your natural hand. Or sa MBTI, you write using your writing hand, and then later on, non-writing hand. And then they will ask you, what was the feeling
Very
like?
simple, diba? Experiential.
Experience.
I'm sure that kahit hindi kayo familiar sa terminology,
Nagawa na nila.
I'm sure you've underwent this, you've done something like this. Ano yun?
Ano daw, sabi ni Zeke, yung AR, dapat may alliance talaga ang, I suppose, instructional designer
Yeah.
and ang creative cities. I
Agree. Mahirap po nang i-differentiate ngayon.
This is our last slide.
Ah,
We have
reading.
more,
May
we have more time.
Waiver lang po. Yung reading, hindi po kasama dyan yung pagbabasahin mo yung last year. I attended one training, promise, hindi ko babanggitin.
Yun ang
Pinagbasa talaga, o sige nga, pakibasa yung slides. Let's say, itago natin sa pangalan June yung nagbasa. O June, can you read? O, binasa naman niya. Okay,
That's
very
it.
good, palakpakan natin. Hindi po kasama yun ha. Tama ba, Louie? Hindi kasama. Hindi yun yung basa talaga.
Basahin mo, tapos sige, discuss the
parang ito yung handouts dati na pinagpasahan ng prof mo. Asynchronous learning, yes, no? You do that before the class. You are given a set of guide questions. You prepare your answers.
Meron lang akong gustong i-emphasize na I think it's very important. Siguro, babalikan natin ito when we go to evaluation. Pero importante kasi sa facilitation of learning is yung formative evaluation.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Kasi kung lecture or class discussion yung ginawa mo, you can only know if they have achieved the level of learning required, whether that's remember, understand, apply, analyze, is you use a method that allows for formative evaluation. Kasi pag nag-role play ka, alam mo, okay, especially if the role play is skills practice. Nagawa ba niya? Nasun ba niya yung step? Paano pagka reading? Paano kapag lecture?
Yeah.
Ano ba yung learning objective natin kapag ka-remember, di ba? The participants will be able to enumerate the steps. So how do you know that the participants actually able to enumerate the steps? Okay? Kung straight out nag-lecture ka lang, that's trainer-centered or resource speaker-centered. I won't even call the trainer a trainer if the trainer did not check if the learner actually learned. Diba?
And that's why in the design, part of the banig is the evaluation method. Parang per activity, the method, and the evaluation.
Both formative at saka summative. Isa ngayon, halimbawa, magpakahud ka, that's a form of formative. Di ba? Daming method eh. Or, di ba, minsan yung mga, instead of summarizing the key points, may mga nakita ko slides, pero may blank. So kung hindi mo matandaan yung blank ngayon, alam mo na hindi nila natandaan. Di ba? Or instead of asking, instead of summarizing, di ba, na, alright, so let's summarize what we have discussed, blah, 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 blah. You can do a formative evaluation there. So what have we discussed? O pag ganito, ano na nga ito ulit? Yan, you spend only few minutes. Kaya lang, kailangan, hindi style ng trainer yon dapat. It's not a matter of style, it's a matter of design.
Tama, kasi pwede isang programa, tatlong trainer, iba-iba style.
Yeah.
So, some classes perform better, some classes. Nagkakaroon ng comparison.
Pero kasi at the end of the day, importante, did we achieve our objective?
Effective.
Is it effective? No? Pwede kasing engaging siya, pero hindi effective. It has to be engaging so that it is effective, hindi engaging which a lot of speakers and trainers get wrong. Masaya yung training, nakatutuwa yung mga tao, get yung feedback, pero ano natutunan? Dapat ano yun yun yung end goal natin. Ano yung natutunan?
Tsaka I think, isa pa sa ako natutunan ko, yung pagpapa-icebreaker. Mag-icebreaker tayo, pero the most effective way, yung icebreaker nyo, quote-unquote, should be related to whatever the lesson is.
If it's related, it becomes an SLE.
Kesa yung nagpaano na kayo, sige, taas kamay, parang ganyan. Pero, massage ulan.
Not unless pwede mo i-correct.
Ayun, ang difference between icebreaker at energizer?
Sino gusto? Okay naman.
Importante yun. Ang icebreaker is to break the ice.
So energizer is therefore to energize.
Yung sa umpisa ng training, you want the participants to get comfortable with each other, get to know you, it can be part of setting and leveling of expectation. Energizers can be used anytime during the training. So to liven up the group. So mas maganda kung yung energizer natin connected sa design.
Yes.
Hindi lang para magising, no? Tumayo kayo, mag-jumping jack tayo.
Dapat wala na tayong ginagawa sa learning experience na icebreaker lang or energizer lang. Everything that especially that we're compressing the training duration, each minute counts. So, dapat mag-icebreaker ka na lang or energizer, i-connect mo na, segue, introduces the topic, the learning experience. No? And it's no longer called an icebreaker or energizer. You can call it an experiential or a structural learning experience.
Kaya mo naman sinabing energizer to energize the group. So if the training itself is energizing, you don't really need it. Kaya mo yung parang siyang band-aid solution, naghihikab yung mga participants. Diba? Bumababa ang energy.
Dahil sa'yo.
Example. Bibigyan ko ng example.
Yung alauna, lastos ng hapon, o peligro.
Example, ang topic mo, goal setting, action planning. After lunch, palalarin ko sila ng beer pong. Alauna, beer pong. Pampababa ng kinain. Tapos yung beer pong mo is, ang ipaprocess ko dun ay focus on the goal. Do you have a shared goal as a team? Round 1, wala kayong shared goal. Yes. Sa round 2, yung dulong cups ang goal ninyo. So makikita nila, may change in behavior pala pag. So it's no longer just an energizer. It's a learning experience. Now they understand the need for SMART goals. Right. It binds the team. It energizes the team. Dapat wala nang icebreaker or energizer lang. Dapat lahat connect.
Yung icebreaker should allow the participants to get ready for the training.
Yeah,
yung
right.
ginagawa mo sa umpisa. So it has to be purposive. So,
Right.
Expectation
yung,
setting.
hindi yung pagpapa-body sinking ka lang para mag-get to know you yung mga participants. Diba? And then dun sa energizer, yung mga gagawin mo na learning activities themselves energized to do.
Binabago ko na nga yung icebreaker eh. Tinawag ko na siyang check-in exercise.
Oh, that's good.
You're checking in like a hotel, you check in. Kaya lang yung check-in mo, yung human bingo, ginawa ko siyang mali human bingo style, pero you're checking in, expecting, what's your expectation?
Right.
Instead of my expectation from this training, interview 7 people, what are their training expectations? Yes. Tapos, you hit it. Icebreaker, energizer na, tapos perfect segue pa.
And speaking of check-in, ako naman, ginagamit ko yung term na check-in for multi-day training. Yung second day, management of learning. What are the most important lessons that you've learned from the previous session? How are you going to apply it in the workplace? And then what are you going to do to facilitate your learning process today? So to get also to connect yung lessons from yesterday and then to prepare the learners for what's going to happen yung next session.
Yun siya, purposive talaga daw.
Yun nga, sabi nga Lizzie, everything is by that intentional. Again, objective. What is your objective? In a time where we're asked to really compress the training to few hours, intentional, by design, purposive, objective-based.
Hindi ka nagsasayang ng oras.
Yan. Talaga namang...
Syete na?
Nagkwentuhan na
Oo, parang nagkwentuhan. Actually, napaka-privileged natin ngayon. Parang nagbigay si Louie ng isang mini training. Lecture. Di ba? Na napaka-mahal ng oras pagka kinuha niyo si Louie para sa isang oras na to. And we're getting him free. So, lagi pa rin kayong sumubaybay sa ating usapang training dahil hindi natatapos yung ating learning every session. And siguro one last from each of the members or ating mga katropa. Very small, siguro, key takeaways. Ayan, ang ating favorite. Ano inyong key takeaways sa ating session today? Yan. So magsimula tayo kay Ed.
Sabi ko natutunan sa sa mga participants natin doon sa chat. Nag-google ako doon sa iba dahil ngayon ko lang narinig. So it helps to have a community of learning like this. So this is one example of a methodology that we can use to learn from each other. Conversation as a form of learning method.
Yeah. So sa akin, if you notice, right, we keep going back to the same thing. Make sure that it's aligned to the objectives. Make sure that you're designing the experience according to the learners. Ito talaga yung core principles. I know some organizations and teams, they're challenged, no? Sometimes yung shift to remote and hybrid delivery is parang kino-convert lang nila yung instructor-led nila. Tapos sige, basta may self-paced learning, it's exactly the same slides, okay na, nagawa na. But we gotta put in a lot more effort than that. Yeah. Everything needs to be, as Zeke mentioned, intentional to get the desired outcome. Yeah, that's my...
Yan. Ikaw, ako, sige. Sa akin, actually, ang daming learning, no, nung una, yung mga bagong terminologies, naman sa ating mga luma at bagong terminologies. So, we learn from each other based on generation. So, kasi part ng ano na ba ako? Gen Alpha. Charot. So anyway, isa yon. Pangalawa, I think yung experience ko, lalo na nung nag-shift tayo after the pandemic from yung mga 8-hour training na face-to-face, biglang sabi sa atin, kailangan 2 hours lang kasi online, ganyan. Naalala ko, just to share, the first training that I attended after the COVID whatever struck, yung training ni Louie on what to do, di ba? Ngayon COVID ka na, ganyan, nagko-COVID ka na, paano mag-remote learning, remote coaching. So, nung nag-COVID kasi na-challenge kami, na-challenge tayong mga trainers, how do we now shift to a remote experience at ma-enrich yung remote experience despite the fact. And I think yung mga minention ni Louie, it really helps us, di ba? Develop ano-ano yung mga pwede nating gamitin. Dahil ang dami-dami ng methodologies, ang dami-dami ng tools, and it gives us a better learning experience for our kids.
Right.
Yun,
Yeah.
habang sinabi ko.
Yung sa akin naman ang reflection ko, and this is a message to myself, at idamay ko na rin si Louie at si Ed, pati si Mentor Ed, at mga laking 80s, 90s.
Uy, ako din.
Si Pearl.
Hindi lang ako mukhang ano.
We've done that, done this, seen that. No? The number of trainings, the variety that we have done. Tumanda na kami sa training. And this is now the difficult part on ourselves. No? Yung pagpili ng tamang method or methodology. Kasi a lot of times, kung ano yung ginawa mo na in the past, yun na yun. Kaya ang ginagawa kong discipline, it's I have a young team before and I recognize that they have a lot of ideas. They can modernize, millennialize certain things. So ang ginagawa ko, okay, here's what I have in mind. Ano yung mga iba't ibang variations or iba't ibang ideas na pwede pang pumalit. And a lot of times, I'm surprised na yung method ko, there is always a lot, something better from others na even if nag-uumpisa pa lang sila sa kanilang training. So, let us always be open to those possibilities para hindi tayo maging stuck doon sa nakagawian na. Because at the end of the day, it should be human-centered. At ang human dito, it's ano yung the best na method or methodology based hindi sa experience lang natin, kundi sa pangangailangan ng trainees natin. Sila yung bida dito.
Yeah.
The learner is
Yeah.
Method, tools, tactics. These are the 12 methods. I think they will not change so much. But the tools in delivering the methods have changed. Yes? And the tactics that you will implement, lalo na kung hybrid, pag hybrid, ang tactics dyan ay how do you arrange the groupings? Yeah. How do you make sure that the instructions are clear? No? How do you make sure that you always engage those who are disadvantaged, yung mga wala sa room, kasi we often forget them. So methods, these 12 methods, I think we still stand the test of time for the next 20, 30 years, but how you implement them, tools, tactics, magbabago.
And with that, we'd like to thank each and everyone. Sana sa susunod natin na face-to-face, maimbitahan na namin kayo to join us.
May audience na.
May audience na. Diba? At kahit na 1 hour lang yung online natin, then we can have like a discussion after that 1 hour. So, maraming salamat at mag-group picture daw tayo kahit yan. Sino ngayon ang kukuha? Yan ang tanong. Wala tayong technique.
Dito.
Ako na lang.
Hindi natin sa gallery mag-gallery.
Gallery. Ako
Tingnan
na
nyo.
camera. Sa ating group picture.
Yan. Okay.
Wala na ba? Wala na sasama?
Ayan, mag-online.
Mag-imilit pa ako.
Para masaya.
Maraming salamat.
Maraming salamat. 1, 2, 3.
Teka, dali.
Yan, generational.
Uy, si Shana Sino nandito. Hello. Join up then. Nice to see you again.
Okay.
Owie, see you soon.
Okay. Maraming salamat.
Salamat
See you
sa mga
next
mainstay.
Sunday.
Nerissa, salamat. Nick, salamat sa mga... Thank you.
Mga suki.
Suki.
Thank you, everyone.
Salamat. Ay, tahimik nandito. Hello.